Right, welcome back, and excuse us for the technical mistake. And back to you, Mr. Ramzy. And let me here take your reading into the recent Israeli escalation and the scene in the Palestinian occupied territories.
Well, the scene is that the fire is ongoing from both sides. Israel is attacking Gaza, and Gaza has hit Israel with 1,100 rockets so far. The take on the situation is that Netanyahu needed to get his own population busy with something else than opposing his right-wing government. And he thinks that Gaza is the surest bet. It is a situation that may be much more in control than other situations that he may create, or events that he may create. But that's not the case, because Israel's estimate is that the Palestinians in Gaza have around 16,000 rockets. So this is a scenario that can go on forever. All attempts to try to put the situation under control until this moment have failed, because Israel refuses the two conditions that the Palestinians have put. The Palestinians want two things. First of all, a commitment that is written that Israel will stop killing and assassinating Palestinian leaders. And the other thing that the Islamic Jihad wants is to get the body of their leader who died in Israeli prisons, Adnan Khadr. And these are the two conditions. And Netanyahu does not want to commit to either one of these two conditions. Netanyahu wants to continue to be able to assassinate Palestinian leaders at will, and he doesn't want to give back the body of the martyr of Islamic Jihad who died in prison.
Mr. Ramzy, what has exacerbated the situation into such a height?
Nothing. It was an Israeli decision. The Israelis are the ones who started all of this, because Netanyahu needs a diversion from all of his internal problems in Israel. And he knows very well that the minute he assassinates 6 from the Islamic Jihad, the Islamic Jihad is going to retaliate by shooting rockets. Shooting the rockets would put all of his Israeli population in under attack. No more demonstrations. People are now worried about their own livelihood, and they're very scared. And therefore, this is a diversion. That's what he wanted. He wanted the diversion. And what he's not getting is that he got the diversion, but the diversion is not stopping. Why? Because the Palestinians came back and said, you know what? We're going to continue shooting rockets at you until you meet our two conditions. And this is what Netanyahu was not expecting, if you like. The other thing that has happened, look, at the military, there is a very big price for Israel in all of this. The Palestinians are paying the heaviest price. There is one Israeli who was killed, but the Palestinians have lost 33 Palestinians that were murdered in order to kill 6 of the leaders of Al-Jihad al-Islami. And the Palestinians have the highest toll of injured people. We are now at about 150 injured Palestinians. So the Palestinians are paying the heaviest price, but this also comes at a price for Israel. And let me give you a great example of a price. If the Palestinians shot 1,100 rockets, according to the Israeli count, the Israelis have taken down a little bit more than 300 of these rockets through their Iron Dome. So this fiasco that Netanyahu has done has proven that the Iron Dome is useless. This is number one. Number two, For the first time, the Islamic Jihad has used anti-military airplane rockets. And this is the first time that the Islamic Jihad is actually shooting at the Israeli aircrafts that are flying above Gaza in order to do bombardment. And this is a very big development. It's also proof that the Palestinians are developing their equipment, their weapons, and they are going to be able to defend themselves much better. And if the Islamic Jihad gets to the point where they are able to shoot down Israeli aircraft, then Israel pays a very big price. And this is basically forcing Netanyahu into meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, trying to wriggle out of his dilemma. He wants this to end, but without any conditions, because the minute that he signs that document, he is going to lose his own coalition. The radical right-wingers, such as Ben Gvir and Smotrich and all of these people, one of their conditions is assassinating Palestinian leaders. This is a condition of the coalition. So so now he's in trouble. The Palestinians are not going to stop firing rockets. The Israeli population is already talking about this whole fiasco being a very bad political decision on the part of Netanyahu and his government. And so instead of creating the diversion he needs to get out of his political problems, what he's getting into right now is a much bigger political problem with the population. And he is not able to get out of this dilemma because he will lose his coalition if he accepts the Palestinian conditions. And the Palestinian conditions are very straightforward and simple. At the end of the day, they are going to have to give back the body of Adnan Khader. And obviously, why would the Palestinians stop? Israel has killed 6 of the leaders of the Islamic Jihad. Why would the Palestinians stop bombarding Israel until they get, to say the least, a commitment that they will not continue killing Palestinian leaders?
Mr. Ramzy, here, if I may ask you again about the timing of such escalation. Definitely Israel knew that when it will be assassinating leaders from, or military leaders, or from leaders from the military wing of jihad, this would escalate the situation and put the whole area on fire. How do you view the timing, and is that a kind of pretext to a certain agenda for Israel?
The timing is, look, the timing, you're 100% right regarding the timing, but it's all about internal Israeli politics. It's not about the region. And it's not about another project that Israel has. Netanyahu's government is in very big trouble internally. Netanyahu wants to remove all of the powers from the judiciary and place them in the hands of his own government that has a majority in parliament right this moment. And why does he want to do this? In order for him to be able to kill all of the action, the judicial action against him, the legal action against him, that is related to charges of corruption. And the only way he's going to be able to do this is to take all the power from the hands of the courts and place them in the hands of his own politicians, who will make him, who will give him a green slate. And this is what Netanyahu wants, and the Israeli population erupted because this is anti-democratic. And Israel is becoming a declared dictatorship. Rather than, there's a problem with Israeli democracy. There has always been a problem with Israeli democracy. Because one of the major rules of democracy is to have equality And there is no equality in the state of apartheid. And Israel has always been a state of apartheid and walking towards apartheid more and more because they were not resolving the Palestinian issue. So if democracy is only for Jews, then this is not really democracy. This is apartheid. And what the Israeli Jews are concerned about is that the minute that Netanyahu destroys the balance between powers inside of the state of Israel by empowering all of his own politicians who are in coalition with him against justice and against the legal system and against the courts, then even that partial supposed democracy that is only for Jews is no longer a democracy. It is more of a dictatorship. And this is why the Israeli street erupted. Israel faced demonstrations that Israel has never seen before. These demonstrations were going back again onto the street, and they were and tension, internal tension, was rising again. The opposition to Netanyahu was getting stronger and stronger, and therefore what Netanyahu needed was a diversion. And he created the diversion by simply killing 6 leaders of the Islamic Jihad. And here we go. So this is where the timing issue is playing the role. It's all about the internal problems of Netanyahu, rather than about a project that has to do with the region, for example.
Definitely the ineffectiveness of the Iron Dome and using new weapons would make a kind of change to the situation and the balance and how things matters. However, culmination to the situation is very necessary for the stability of the whole region. Mr. Ramzy Khouri, Palestinian journalist and analyst, we thank you so much for being with us and for your input, and we get back to our episode. Before we move on, let's have a quick look on this report and we'll come back.
Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry attended the Munich Formula meeting on the Middle East peace along with his counterparts from Jordan, Germany and France. Addressing a press conference after the meeting, Shoukry stressed the necessity of halting Israeli occupation forces' violence against Palestinians in the besieged Gaza Strip, the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem. Minister reiterated Egypt's condemnation to continued Israeli occupation aggressions being a dangerous escalation in the region. Egypt's top diplomat called on the international community to show a serious will for solving the Palestinian cause. He pointed out to Egypt's efforts for a ceasefire and for the resumption of peaceful negotiations to the conflict. Shoukry also urged the international community to intervene for halting Israel's unilateral moves, which hampers any peaceful efforts. The minister asserted Egypt's firm stance towards the Palestinian cause through establishing an independent state along the 1967 borderline. The remarks were echoed by Jordanian Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi, also saw the only means of solving the conflict was a two-state solution. German Foreign Minister, meanwhile, urged concentrated efforts for holding a ceasefire in Gaza, stressing that the conflict claimed the lives of scores of civilians and innocents. France's top diplomat also stressed intensifying international efforts to reach a comprehensive solution to the conflict to achieve regional stability and protect civilians.